Welcome to day 40 of the NBA playoffs. This is going to be your reactions to game 3 of the NBA Finals, where the Heat shockingly beat the Lakers despite having no Bam Adebayo or Goran Dragic. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Jimmy Butler's game. He had an amazing game, an all-time game for the record. He was 14 of 20 from the field. 40 points, 12 of 14 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 13 steals, 2 blocks and 2 steals. Excuse me. And he also played 41 minutes. He was really dominant in this game, especially in crunch time, because in crunch time it was literally just him getting a pick and roll and him getting a mismatch and then just going straight to the cup and either getting fouled or getting a bucket. It was a really good game. I don't know where this is all time. Just because it's like 10 minutes after. Just still kind of letting this game settle. Maybe that'll be like a future video down the line ranking NBA top NBA Finals performances. But this is a really good game from him, especially because Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic did not play today. Now, someone that's definitely found his shooting stroke a little bit is Duncan Robinson. Tonight, he was 3 of 10, which isn't bad, but it's getting better for him. He was 4 of 12 overall from the field tonight. 13 points, a plus 27 on the plus-minus scale, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. He was pretty good tonight. Nothing special, but I think it was just notable because, he wasn't playing well in game 2, or he was kind of playing well in game 2, but game 1 he was horrible. But this is definitely an improvement for him. The next player I want to talk about is Kelly Olynyk and Myles Leonard. Now, they commanded the 5 today, respectively. Kelly Olynyk played for 31 minutes and Myles Leonard played for 13. Kelly Olynyk was 5 of 9, with 3 of 5 from 3 and with 17 points. He had 7 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Myles Leonard had 7 points on 3 of 3 shooting, 1 rebound, and 1 steal. Now, contrast that with Anthony Davis. Now, mind you, he was in a bit of a foul trouble, which I'll get that to in a little bit. But to hold him to that many points, and Iguodala deserves some credit too. Iguodala, he was 1 of 2 tonight. He had 2 points, a minus 13 on the plus-minus scale. Sometimes the plus-minus scale is kind of a bad stat. Just because sometimes I feel like guys have good games and it doesn't really reflect in the plus-minus stat, but that's a discussion for another day as well. But yeah, defensively they played really well on Anthony Davis, and was definitely one of the factors why Anthony Davis did not have a good game today. Now that kind of brings me to my next point. Kelly Olynyk and Myles Leonard playing well today. The Heat played amazing in the paint tonight. They outscored the Lakers 52-34, which is an 18-point difference. Why was this hugely important in today's game? Because that's kind of the Lakers' bread and butter. When they're shooting well from 3, they're kind of just a really good team. But usually this team is built from the paint on. Anthony Davis, again, he didn't really score a lot in the paint tonight. It especially becomes huge. The paint battle especially becomes important for the Lakers to win when the Lakers aren't shooting well. Tonight they shot 0 of 4, tonight Danny Green shot 0 of 4, and Caldwell Pope shot 1 of 3, which is not bad. Rondo shot 0 of 3, which is huge, because when there were lineups when they had LeBron and Rondo out there. That doesn't work if Rondo can't shoot from 3, because they're just gonna not guard him from the 3-point line. So that was huge as well. Another thing I want to talk about is this game was weirdly close for a game that felt like the Heat should be dominating by a lot. It was only 2 points. The Lakers were only down by 2 points at half. And there was an 11-point difference by the end. But Lakers were only down by 7 with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. That didn't really feel like, just getting a sense from the game, it didn't really feel like it was that. Especially because of the Lakers' high turnover rate, which I will get into a minute. But yeah, it didn't really feel like the Heat, this game should have been close. it really should have felt like the Heat were taking a huge lead in this game, like a 20-point lead, especially in the first half. Now, for the Lakers, I think this is the first game since they lost game 1 to Portland, which was kind of a little bit an overreaction, where I think there is legitimate concern about them going forward. Tonight they had 19 turnovers. Most of them were in the first half of this game. It's something like 16 turnovers in the first half, which good for them for like limiting their turnovers in the second half of this game. But you can't have that in the first half. LeBron had 8 turnovers. Anthony Davis had 5. And Dwight Howard, and then there were some other guys who had 1 or 2. But yeah, that's pretty concerning going forward. LeBron, he's had high turnover rates in this playoffs. I guess that's just how he is now at this age. But yeah, it was definitely concerning the amount of times they were turning the ball over. A lot of them were not even like steals. A lot of them were just like there was a miscommunication on the play, and you would throw the ball to the side instead of the corner, and because there was no one on the side, then it would go out of bounds. Which is it's a huge concern, and hopefully they correct that issue. But I don't know. I think this game makes it a series again, especially because Bam and Goran were out. But yeah, the turnovers in this game were definitely a concern for the Lakers. Okay, now I'm going to talk about Anthony Davis's performance in this game tonight. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I feel like there's something that needs to be addressed with his fouls. He had 3 fouls by the end of the first quarter, or the end of the second quarter, excuse me. And he had to be subbed out with like 4 minutes left in the first. And LeBron had to come back in, which is again like a difference from it's different from their usual rotation. Where Anthony Davis plays the whole first quarter, and then LeBron comes in around like 12th minute, and then Anthony Davis sits, and then I think Anthony Davis comes with like 5 minutes left, something like that. Anthony Davis has gotten into foul trouble, was huge for the Lakers in this game, or was a huge devastation for the Lakers in this game, and was one of the reasons they lost. At points, it really did feel like it was only LeBron, only LeBron on the court is their star. And it really feel like he had to carry a lot tonight, which will kind of bring me into segue into LeBron's performance. I touched on his turnovers, but overall, I think he played good, but I wish he was more aggressive. Again, I'm not doubting him because I don't want to doubt him because I think he's the greatest basketball mind that there is, at least playing right now. But the same way as you don't judge Bill Belichick or Greg Popovich, but I think he should have been more aggressive tonight. Tonight he was 9 of 16, 1 of 5 from 3, 6 of 9 from the free throw line, and 25 points. Yeah, I wish he was just more aggressive tonight. At times he was. I guess the Heat's new strat when LeBron gets a pick and roll from a smaller guard like Rondo or something like that to get a switch so Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero is guarding him, is to have Tyler Hero guard him for a second, so you're checking him for the 3-pointer, right? But then you're leaving Jimmy Butler kind of in the stratosphere near the paint area or top of the key, not top of the key, but around the paint area, and you're basically daring the 3-point shooter to shoot, which is kind of not really good for the Lakers. I don't really think it's a problem that can be fixed. Rather, unless the Lakers can shoot well from 3, the only way this problem can be fixed is if LeBron drives to the basket. And I think that's the adjustment has to be made. Again, maybe he's seeing something different. He definitely has a different angle than me just because, you can probably see the basket more. You could definitely see what's happening easier from a front way view instead of a sideways view, which I'm viewing it because I'm watching it on TV. So yeah, there's definitely maybe that's the adjustment there, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Which kind of brings me to my next segue. Danny Green and Caldwell Pope, I've already touched on this. Maybe they're not gonna go back to their regular shoot, or Danny Green's been horrible from the 3-point line in this playoffs, but maybe Caldwell Pope doesn't go back to the shooting the way it was before. Game one was not expected. They're not going to shoot like that again the rest of the series. But maybe you can't really depend on them. And I don't know, maybe you have to figure out adjustment, like I said earlier. A couple of other highlights for the Lakers tonight. Marcus Morris, I believe it's Marcus Morris, not the other one. But he played well tonight. He was 6 of 13, 5 of 11 from 3, 19 points, a plus 10. He was huge, especially because, again, as I outlined earlier, those two 3-point shooters weren't really there for the Lakers tonight. And Kuzma as well, he was really good. He was also 6 of 13, 4 of 8 from 3, 3 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, and a plus 6 on the plus-minus scale, and 19 points. One thing Kyle Kuzma was really good at tonight was excelling in the non-LeBron minutes. And that was really huge, especially because, there wasn't any minutes where Davis and LeBron weren't on, one of them wasn't on the court tonight. But, he was very huge in excelling in those non-LeBron minutes. And yeah. That's really all I got. I'm going to go through the shooting stats real quick. I know I talked a little bit more about the Lakers than the Heat. It was the Heat's night. I don't want to seem like I'm having some kind of bias towards one team. But yeah, all right, let me get through the shooting stats real quick. All right, overall shooting stats. For the Miami Heat, they shot 51% from the field overall, 35% from the three-point line, 91% from the free throw line, and they shot 63%, a great 63% from within the three-point arc. The Lakers, on the other hand, they shot 43% from the field, 33% from the three-point line, 75% from the free throw, and 54% from within the three-point arc. And yeah, that's really it. I don't really think there's anything else left to cover. A couple notes about my channel. So the Star Wars Part 2, all Star Wars movies reviewed, will come out eventually. I don't know when it will come out. I know that's not really forthcoming, but it's really hard to do those videos just because of the amount of clips you have to assemble. So Star Wars Part 2 movies reviewed and TV shows will come out maybe by the end of the month. I also have to watch Star Wars Rebels, and I haven't really gotten into that. So yeah, it might take a little while. And yeah, that's really it. NBA mock draft is coming on about 2 weeks after part 1. At least is coming on at least 2 weeks after the finals is over. And yeah, that's it really. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe.